Today on the table, we have a Colt Model 1908 Vest Pocket. So this is a compact hammerless striker fire pistol. It is chambered in 25 ACP. They made these from 1908 to 1948. It was marketed as a small concealable firearm, which could easily be tucked into a vest pocket of, a coat or a vest, obviously. And it was designed by Browning. Now, they came with a few different grip options. So this one, they all had Bakelite grips on them until about the mid 1920s. This is the one style of Bakelite grip where it's more of a rectangle style. And then there's another one that looks more like the 1911 grips where they're more rounded over at the top, so it doesn't have this long line at the top of it like this. They're just more rounded. Those were the two different styles for this pistol. And then the other style, like around 1920 something, 25, right in the middle of the 1920s, they switched over to a walnut with the gold medallion. Now, you could get these in a nickel finish. This is a blued finish. It's pretty worn. But they had it in a nickel finish, and you can get ivory grips with it, that would be a really cool one to have as well, too. But that is what they look like. Now, like I said, this is the 25 ACP. We can do a quick little safety check. The slide does not stay back, so I actually have to hold it so you can see, but it's really easy to see. You can see there it's not loaded. This has a 2-inch barrel, so it's a very, very tiny barrel. But again, it's only 25 ACP. And it has a small 6-round magazine right there, you can see. And it is the original mag. So if you look here, it says Colt 25 caliber on there right there, or caliber 25 Colt, as you can see. And it has the old school mag release. So instead of a button, it has just this little slide you push over, and then that's what locks it in there. Just like that. And actually, for fit and finish wise, there is pretty much no play in the slide for it being... This one's, I think, from like 1910, 1912, right in there. So this is a very early one. Again, because they only made them from 1908 to 1948. And this is a much earlier one. This is before actually that extra patent, which I'll go over in another video on my other one. But they added an extra patent on these later on, and I'll show you that on another video. Now, it does have two safeties. So it has the grip safety, which is basically a copy of the Browning version of this pistol. So you can see that there, which is nice. And then it also has this great slide safety. So you can see that. So you could really keep it extra safe if it was in your pocket. I mean, you could just keep it like this, so there's no way you could fire it, which is fantastic. I mean, even if you were gripping it, you can't even fire it. And then, again, you'd have to, there you go. You really have to squeeze the back safety and the trigger in order for it to fire. But it does fire very easily. It has a round in the chamber notification. You can see that little bar right there, so that will stick out a little bit if there's a round in there. But this is the Colt Model 1908 vest. And you can look at the markings. So this is a 5-digit serial number. As I mentioned before, this is a really early one. You can look that up there. There's a serial number there. And then you can just see the Colt's PTFA, Hartford, Connecticut, and then it has all the patent dates on it. And then on the other side of the slide, it just says Colt Automatic Caliber 25 right there. Now, the cool story about this is, or how I came about it, was I was actually I was just bored and looking to buy some more pistols. And I was calling just random pawn shops. And I would call, and my first question would be like, hey, do you have an FFL? Obviously, to see if they were able to sell firearms. And for the ones that would say yes, I would ask them, do you have any old Colts, maybe some old revolvers, or just anything kind of old, from a while ago. And one of the shops that I randomly called, the guy goes, well, we got this old Colt, vest pocket in 25 ACP that's been sitting here for a while. I said, oh. I said, well, what do you want for it? And he's like, $450 or something like that. I said, is there a way that you could, send me some pictures of it? And he emailed, I can't remember, texted me some pictures. And I said, yeah. I called him back and I said, you know what, I would do that for it. And I made an offer. I think I paid $450 for it. And I said, yeah, I'll do $450 for it. And he said, okay. And then that's how that's how I came across having it, is just by randomly calling pawn shops that had FFLs and just asking if they had anything old. And it was right after COVID. I think it was like around 2022 or something like that. So maybe a year after COVID ended, that I was, just bored and giving a few places a call. And that's, again, how I came across it. So it is really cool. And the prices of these have gone up quite a bit, actually, in the last 5 years. So now, some of them are going for like $800 or $900 Especially if you find a nickel finished one with ivory grips, those are like 12 or 1500 bucks. But if you find one like this in pretty nice condition, you know, that it's going to cost you 700-800 bucks to get a really, you know, a non-pitted one. This has a lot of the blues worn off the rail, but the frame still has a lot of blue on it, but it doesn't have any pitting or any really deep scratches in it. So, you know, I would consider that in great condition, again, for it being 10 years old, 115 years old. So it's just really cool. Let me know if you have one. I have a whole bunch of vest pockets, and I'll go through and make some more videos of them individually so everybody can see. They are just a really fun little pistol to collect. And they're, you know, and they're actually really heavy for the size of the pistol they are. This one actually, I think, weighs more than the SIG that I showed you a video of yesterday. But let me know if you have one in the comments and if you like 25 ACP.